We're going to replace this bathroom window and the one above it. This house was built in the mid-70s, early 80s here in Florida, and they used cedar siding. Now, in Florida, using wood siding is probably not the best way to go, but this is what we have to work with. And when I got the outside trim off of this, these two beams that I've already replaced were riddled with carpenter ants. And you can see a little bit of evidence of that here and a little bit of evidence of that up here. And this is not termites, these are carpenter ants, due to the fact that this is a very shady area due to all the trees around here. And so in exploring this, we found that the only thing we needed to do was replace the two side beams. Now, the original framing work was not pressure treated lumber. I have put pressure treated lumber in here, and as you can see from down here, the basic beam was pressure treated and these were nailed to it. So when I go inside, straightening out a window is not a difficult project. When I measured this, I found that these windows are standard sizes. So I was able to go ahead and order new standard size windows for it. And instead of having the old crank type windows, which are throughout the house, I'm changing these to a double hung up and down with the opaque glass. We're doing that because the inside is vinyl and won't cause us the problems which you'll see when we go inside. And the outside, it will be white, but it'll be white aluminum, which we can in turn paint the bronze color so we match the rest of the house. So now we're going to go inside and take a look inside. What prompted us to want to change them is the fact that these old aluminum windows get very, very worn with all the water from the shower, and recocking and what have you has just created a real virtual nightmare of caulk and mess and mess. And the crank out types, while good, tend to create problems with the cranks going bad. So it's just easier to have a window that's going to go up and down. Now, window installation is not difficult. Putting them in and taking them out is very, very easy if you know what to look for. Most windows are put in with screws on each side, and then when the screws come out, the window just goes out. So what happens, if you come over here a second, I've already taken this screw out so you can see the hole. We come outside here, and you see the hole there, right there. See that hole in the wall? That's where the screw was that held it in place on the bottom. And there's another screw hole at the top, right below where the windows opened up. So I've just gone ahead already and removed 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Now the next thing I'll show you how to do is how to break it loose. Now you see I've started a little bit here by just knocking it with a piece of wood and a hammer just to break the caulk line loose. So I'll go get my hammer and I'll go get my wood so that we can knock the rest of this loose, and then we'll just take it out from the outside. We don't necessarily want to break it, so I'll be careful knocking it loose so that we can go around back outside and just pull the whole unit out and get rid of it. Otherwise we have broken glass on the ground. Now before I go ahead and use the wooden block to knock this loose, I'm going to take my putty knife and just make sure that my caulk is loose up here. Just by tapping that in there. Seems to be we're okay. And then I just use an old piece of molding here, and I put it here in the corner. can see, we've really come loose from that side. And what I'm going to do, since I got this side loose and I don't want that to drop out there, I'll put my hammer down and my tools. And just grip the frame and see what happens to pull it out. And this is mostly held in by the caulk that's around the edge. And as you can see, here's our, come on out here a minute. Here's our outside beam that we just put in that we talked about outside. All right. Here's our old beam. Here's our beam on this side. As you can see, there's no problem there with the termites or the carpenter ants. This is our sill. And then if you look right down here, you'll see our lower beam down here, and there's a space underneath it. Now these folks went ahead and used cement in there just to kind of anchor this in place, so we'll just kind of keep that in the same place. But so that this window doesn't fall, we're going to go outside and just take it out of the wall. So we're just going to grasp hold of it, pull it loose. That was that easy to get that window out of it. Just going to put it down. Let's take a look at the rest of what we have over here. Now if we look at this closely, we can see what they did the last time. They had to put a spacer here because of the window size. And when we put our new window in, we'll see whether we need to reconstruct a spacer over on this side, since there isn't one there that was probably rotted away. The other thing we're going to do is see whether we leave this cement grout in here that they put underneath the sill, or whether we're going to have to chisel some of that off there to get the new window in. I'm going to look over here, and you can see some more of those carpenter ants. But when I took this off down below, there really isn't very much evidence of it there. But I've taken all the cedar siding off from up that corner and over into here, so that when I put new cedar on, we'll have a nice uniform look to it.